Hi everyone, it's Derek from the iReady podcast here, and this is my reaction to the 5-0 win against Lincoln Red Imps in the second round of the Europa League qualification tonight. Apologies for the tardiness of this tonight. Just an unfortunate series of events conspired to me first not getting to go to the pub, and then a stroppy diva of a 2.5-year-old, and then a car that wouldn't start, and then having to jump start it as well for the first time ever in my life, as well as a nearly 35-year-old. So that's me just getting the chance to do it just now. But certainly the game cheered me up a hell of a lot. As much as it wasn't a flashy performance, it was a very perfunctory one. It done the job. I wouldn't say it flattered us at all, because we were completely in control of the game. They had maybe one main chance, but I think we had a wee flurry of goals at the end, and that kind of bumped it up from what would have been maybe a slightly disappointing 2-0 win. We turned out 5-0 victors, but the big thing obviously was there was 6 changes in the starting lineup. So I think it was more resting a few players, bring a few along, just in case we need them. But we kind of were expecting this to be as much as we're being polite in the press conferences, it was always going to be a fairly straightforward win. And it's no disrespect to Lincoln Red Imps. They obviously beat Celtic a couple of years ago as well, when Celtic played them in Gibraltar, but we kind of knew what we were facing, and we know the quality we can do, especially in Europe. First half itself, there was not a great deal to talk about, to be honest. I think, really apart from the 2 goals, I suppose, but we were in complete control. The 2 goals came from set pieces. McGregor had nothing to do. We had pretty much all the possession. We were trying to get in behind the defence, but were a wee bit pedestrian at times, and that was maybe because of the 6 changes. Yes, the team have played together in training. There's been mix and matching throughout the season and pre-season so far, but when you make that many changes in one game, it might offset some balance and all that kind of thing. But we really didn't need to get out a second year, I felt, and so I suppose it kind of swings and roundabouts that way. We never really tested their keeper, which was a bit disappointing. And the probably the big thing, apart from the 2 goals, obviously, was in the first half, was Roof going off with a suspected calf injury. It's obviously a concern. Apparently, that's what his career's been dogged by so far, and why he never really kicked off his career so far. Hopefully, it's been more of a precaution than anything, but we'll obviously find out in due course. The goals itself, though, on the 20th minute with Tavernier scoring, he pulled rank over Hadji to take a free kick from about 25 yards out on the left hand side, up and over the wall into the postage stamp. That was vintage Tavernier free kick, that, and I say vintage in terms of, that's what we know he can do, but they are a rarity these days, and he's done a couple like that now where he's put great crosses in, or he's went direct for goal, and you don't mind pulling rank when they're that quality, because we've got quite a few good free kick takers now, and if all 3 or 4 of them can do that, then nobody's arguing whatsoever. 48th minute, Goldson put us 2-0 up. There was a free kick right at the touchline on the edge of the box on the left hand side, was floated in by Barisic to the back post. May have taken a slight knock off the head of the defender, but went right to Goldson anyway, right at the back post, who nods at home. So 2 players, I'm not going to say much maligned, that's maybe the wrong, but certainly they've had their fair share of justified criticism. But when they're popping up and scoring goals, when they're putting the quality in like that, when they're solid at the back, nobody can have any complaints about them. And I don't think, apart from really the one mistake he made in the Leverkusen game, Tavernier's been absolutely solid so far this year, and his defensive frailties have maybe not been tested to the extreme yet, but certainly he's came on leaps and bounds that way, and he's putting a lot more crosses in which are finding their men. So, and then Goldson as well, he's just been an absolute wall at the back, so it's great to see. Obviously, the in the first half, Roof came off, and a bit of a strange one, Nathan Patterson came on, so he kind of dropped into the right back position, and it meant Tavernier was going forward on the right as well. And we thought, well, it's maybe what we've been expecting, maybe bring on a proper right back and Tavernier push forward in the wing. But Tavernier came off at half time. Patterson filled in that right wing role, and Morelos came on for Tavernier, and certainly did he feature. So into the second half, kind of like the Dundee United game, we played with a wee bit more tempo, a wee bit more creativeness. We actually put the keeper under pressure a couple of times. Lincoln Red Imps had probably their major chance of the game on the 62nd minute, where it was a free kick whipped in from the right from them. Edmondson ducks for some unknown reason. The ball bounces to the back post. The ball falls to the Imps player after bouncing off the back of Goldson. He shoots, and McGregor had to pull off a great close range save. Now, McGregor had literally nothing to do. I don't even think he had many kickouts, and he's obviously only featured in the Leverkusen game so far, I think, this year, and that's coming out the cold almost and pulling off a great save like that. So it just goes to show the quality of the keepers we've got just now. Itten came off a bit disappointing. I think he's not had a lot of game time, still finding his feet. It's taken Roof a wee bit of time to find his feet and get the goals. Itten maybe needs a wee bit more game time, but he came off. Defoe came on the 66th minute, and in the same minute we managed to go 3-0 up with Morelos. It was a free kick in from Barisic on the left to the back post, headed back across the goal by Stewart, right to Morelos, who basically only had a tap in. So it doesn't matter how they come, it's still a goal for Morelos as well, which is great to see. And we kept on playing on. Imps really were down and out at that point. They seemed to push out a wee bit more and create more space at the back. And then we got 2 goals from there. Defoe scoring on the 83rd minute. The cameras actually went down. I think that went down across the whole RTV and the shambles of Premier Sports as well. Nobody's seen it live on TV land, but the replay showing that Patterson got down the right. He cuts in, passes on the edge of the box. There was a dummy by Morelos. Hadji picks it up, passes to Defoe, who has his back to goal. He starts moving away from the goal, and a quick turn and snapshot into the back of net. Just what vision from Defoe, getting his first appearance after his injury and scoring a goal. He almost had a second. 2 minutes later though, Barisic puts a fast-paced cross in from the left, hits off the arm of Defoe and into the back of the net. However, obviously ruled as a foul. But 2 minutes after that, on the 87th minute, we went 5-0 up with Morelos scoring. Red Imps were playing a high line again, kind of inexplicably at this point. Ball to Defoe on the right side, feeds Morelos the ball. He picks it up on the edge of the box, who dinks it past the keeper. Just a really quick, incisive goal, helped by very strange defending as well. When you're down and out and it's more kind of damage limitation, just stop the ball going in, and they decide to play up higher. And well, we got the 5 goals. So certainly it was a game I don't think we ever got out of second gear. As I said, we didn't really need to. Could have been a potential banana skin if you based it on the Celtic game, but our quality has shone through once again, and it's long may it continue. Leads us right into the game against Hibs, which is going to be a big massive test, probably the biggest test we'll have faced this year so far. They're obviously sitting second just now in the league. A big massive game. If we manage to get past them, which I've got all confidence the way we're playing, it'll be a big massive step forward, and long may this run to continue. It's certainly, this season started off very similar to the way last season started off, which is great to see. Obviously the wee blip against Livingston there, but that aside, we've been fantastic so far. So in terms of Europe, I think it's next week we play, on the 24th, I think, if that rings a bell, and that's against Willem II. So we're going away there to Holland. They obviously won against Progress Niederkorn 5-0 as well, so going to be a difficult affair. Can't get away from that. However, we play like we've been playing, then I have all confidence in the team. So I'll be back with a post-match pod on Sunday after the Hibs game. Dave and I will hopefully be back before the Willem II game, and if not, it'll be at some point next week, and we'll come back with you for a full podcast there. As ever, if you want to check out what we do, you can go to our website, which is ireadypodcast.wordpress.com, and there you can find the stuff that we do. So thanks for listening. Enjoy your evening. Goodbye.